Good morning, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Nielsen from St. Teresa's. Hope everybody's doing well. Last time I was with you, I spoke to you about counting, and we identified the numbers 1, 2, 3. And I know that all of you know how to count your numbers, probably all the way up to 100. But today we're going to look at numbers and look at how we use numbers in different ways. We're going to be looking at cardinal numbers and ordinal numbers. Now, what does that mean? A cardinal number tells us how many of something. We use them to count how many and answer the question, how many. So let's look at these two trees. In the first tree, I'll just put it up a little bit so you can see it. You see some oranges. I could ask you many questions by looking at this tree, and you could answer them by counting. First question is going to be, how many oranges are in the first tree? So here's the first tree. And let's count how many oranges there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's right, there are 10 oranges in the first tree. In the second tree, there are numbers. Well, we could count how many numbers are being shown in that tree by doing the same thing, counting. We start with any number, and we have to make sure we don't count it more than once and see how many numbers were written in the tree. So let's start over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 numbers in the second tree. So when we are counting, we count how many of something when we're looking at it, and we can tell how many we have just by counting them. And we count the items in each tree separately, and we say the number that we counted. We count the items by using the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on, so on, and so on. And that's what a cardinal number does. So if you have cookies and you want to see how many you have, you could just put them out and count them and then tell how many you have of that cookie that you're going to eat. Well, what's the difference between a cardinal number and an ordinal number? Well, an ordinal number, boys and girls, we're still using numbers, but in a different way because we are using the numbers to tell the position of something. Here we have children. If we just want to say how many children, that would be a cardinal number. We could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 children in a line. But when we want to use ordinal numbers, we want to say the position of the children. Where are they in the line? So for example, where on the line is the girl with the pink backpack? So we look on the line and we see the girl with the pink backpack, and we could say she is not first, not second, but third in line. She is third on the line of the children who are lining up. Who is first on line? So we look again at the line, and the line's going this way. So the first one is the boy in the yellow backpack. So even though we have the number 1 there, we say it differently. We say it's the first child. He's the first one on the line. Who is the last student on the line? Well, this is the first, this is the second, this is the third, fourth, fifth. Are there any other children after him? No. So the 5th student on line is the boy with the brown curly hair. Everybody see that right there? So you see, boys and girls, when we're not just counting how many students, now we're saying what position they're in. We use words and numbers in a different way. We'll say number 1 here is the first student. This is 2, but we say second. We don't say she's number 2 in line. We say she's the second student in line. Third, fourth, fifth, and if there was more children, we could keep counting. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. So that's how we use numbers differently. First we had up here just counting the numbers 1 to 10 or even higher, how many of something you have. And then down here, the ordinal numbers are saying what position they are. So for example, if you have cookies and you lay them out, you could put them in a line and count how many you have. Or you could say which one you're going to eat first one if you put them in a straight line, then the second one, then the third one, and so on. So that's the difference, boys and girls, between a cardinal number and an ordinal number. And we're going to use that today when we read a book. We're going to read a nice, fun Halloween book. And we're going to remember the position of the characters in the book, because the characters in the book are going to take a position somewhere, and we want to answer the questions where they are. Who was first? Who was second? Are you ready to read the book? I'm going to turn my camera over to the book now. Okay? The book is called Room on the Broom. Could you see that? I'll try to get it a little farther away for you here so you can see the whole book. Room on the Broom. And it's a nice, fun Halloween book. You see the moon and the witch, and there's a cat on a broom carrying the cauldron, and that's written by the author's down here. Remember we learned about author? The author is the person who writes the book. That's right. Julia Donaldson. You ready to listen? Now please listen carefully, so when we're done with the book, we could talk about what happened and use our ordinal numbers to answer the questions. Are you ready? Room on the Broom. So let's get to the first page here. Skip all that. Okay. Well, let's see what's going on here. Oh, this looks like a fun book. The witch had a cat and a hat that was black, and long ginger hair in a braid down her back. Do you know what ginger hair is? What does it mean to have ginger hair? Well, let's look at her and we can find out what that means. She has like a reddish color hair. So she has ginger hair, they call that. How the cat purred and how the witch grinned as they sat on their broomstick and flew through the wind. Wonder where they're going. But how the witch wailed and how the cat spat. When the wind blew so wildly, it blew off her hat. Oh no, her hat blew away. Let's find out what happens. Well, I gather she's going to have to go look for that hat, right? Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the hat, but no hat could be found. They're searching over there. See them? Very good. Let's see what happens over here. He dropped it politely. Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Nielsen. I skipped a spot here. Then out of the bushes, on thundering paws, there bounded a dog with the hat in his jaws. Looks like the hat was found by the doggy. Well, let's find out what the witch thinks about that. He dropped it politely, then eagerly said, as the witch pulled the hat firmly down on her head, I'm a dog as keen as can be. Is there room on that broom for a dog like me? And look what they do. They all go back on the broom. Yes, cried the witch, and the dog clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. And flying up in the air, the witch, the cat, and the doggy. And let's see what happens here. Over the fields and the forest they flew. The dog wailed his tail, and the stormy wind blew. The witch laughed out loud and held on to her hat, but away blew the bow from her braid, just like that. Oh, see the bow down here? It flew off her head. Oh, you think she's going to go back down and get it like she did before? Let's find out. If she finds this one on her own, we'll find out. There she is, looking all around for it. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the bow, but no bow could be found. Well, looks like something might be going on over here. Let's see. I think someone found it. Right there. Do you see that? Looks like some green bird. Then out from a tree, with an ear-splitting shriek, there flapped a green bird with a bow in her beak. She dropped it politely and bent her head low. then said, as the witch tied her braid in the bow, I am a bird as green as can be. Is there room on the broom for a bird like me? Do you think she's going to let her on the broom? I think she might. Yes, cried the witch. So the bird fluttered on. The witch tapped the broomstick and whoosh, they were gone. Now how many are on that broom? Well, if we're answering how many, we can just count them, right? 1, 2, 3, and the bird's gonna make 4. 4 are going to be on that broom. And they're flying away, and it looks like it's a rainstorm. See the rain? All there. I know, Mrs. This will put the book down like this a little bit and put my camera down on it for you so we could see it better. Okay, I think that might be a little bit better. Over the reeds and the rivers they flew. The birds shrieked with glee, and the stormy wind blew. They shot through the sky to the back of beyond. The witch clutched her bow, but let go of her wand. Oh no, everything keeps going away on her, blowing away. That wind must be so strong. Well, down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the wand, but no wand could be found. Continue. Then all of a sudden, put it this way so you can see it a little bit better. Then all of a sudden, from out of a pond, leaped a dripping wet frog with a dripping wet wand. He dropped it politely, then said with a croak, as the witch dried the wand on a fold of her cloak, I am a frog as clean as can be. Is there room on the broom for a frog like me? Yes, said the witch, so the frog bounded on. Wow, they're all going to go on that broom. The witch tapped the broomstick and whoosh, they were gone. Over the moors and the mountains they flew. The frog jumped for joy, and there they are, all of them flying away. Uh-oh. There were so many of them on it. Look what happened. The broom snapped in two. Down fell the cat and the dog and the frog. Down they went tumbling into a bog. The witch's half broomstick flew into a cloud, and the witch heard a roar that was scary and loud. What do you think it could be? Let's find out. Uh-oh. That looks so scary. A dragon? I'm a dragon as mean as can be, and which with French fries tastes delicious to me. No, cried the witch, flying higher and higher. The dragon flew after her, breathing out fire. Help, cried the witch, flying down to the ground. She looked all around, but no help could be found. The dragon drew near with a glint in his eyes and said, just this once, I'll have witch without fries. Uh-oh, he wanted to eat her. Even though he had no fries, he said she would be a good meal. Just like that. Let's find out what happens to her. But just as he planned to begin on his feast, from out of the ditch rose a horrible beast. Look at that right there. You see that ugly thing right there? Oh my goodness, what is all that there? Scary looking. It was tall, dark, and sticky, and feathered and furred. It had 4 frightful heads. It had wings like a bird, and its terrible voice, when it started to speak, was a yowl and a growl and a croak and a shriek. It dripped and it squelched as it strode from the ditch, and it said to the dragon, Buzz off, that's my witch. What do you think that is there? Could you see that there? Who do you think that is? It looks like a creepy monster coming up from the swamp there. But if you look closely, do you recognize anything? I think I see something there. Look, and the dragon looks like he's afraid now all of a sudden. The dragon drew back and he started to shake. "I'm sorry," he spluttered. "I made a mistake. It's nice to have met you, but now I must fly." And he spread out his wings and was off through the sky. The dragon went away. Then down flew the bird, and down jumped the frog. Down climbed the cat, and phew, said the dog. And thank you, oh thank you, the grateful witch cried. Without you'd I'd be in that dragon's inside. She would have been inside the dragon. Those were all her friends that were on the broom, that she led on the broom before. They came up out of the mud, you see them? And they looked like a scary monster standing all together, and they scared the dragon off. And all the friends were very happy to be back together again. Isn't that great? Then the witch said, she filled up her cauldron and said with a grin, "Find something, everyone. Throw something in." So the frog found a lily, and the cat found a cone. The bird found a twig, and the dog found a bone. And they all put it into her pot. Do you remember what the pot is called of a witch? It's called a cauldron. They threw them all in, and the witch stirred them well. And while she was stirring, she muttered a spell. Iggity, ziggity, zackety, zoom. Then out rose, what do you think she's going to make there? Out rose a new, truly magnificent broom, with seats for the witch and the cat and the dog, a nest for the bird, and a pool for the frog. "Yes," cried the witch, and they all clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Look at that nice new neat broomstick with all the chairs on it for her and her friends. The end. And off into the air they go. Now, Mrs. Nielsen has a paper here that I'm going to show you. And on it we have our ordinal numbers. Okay, I'm going to put it on the book so we could do this together. And it says first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Now let's try to use our minds and remember what happened in this story. Who was the first one on the broomstick? Do you remember? First one on the broomstick, was it the frog? Do you think it was the frog? No. We have the witch. We have the dog. We have the cat. And we have the bird. Well, whose broomstick was it? Who was the one flying on the broomstick first? It was the witch, right? So she was first on the broom. And she did have a friend with her to start off. Do you remember who the second character was on the broomstick? That's right. The second character was the cat. And then as they flew away, oh, is that going to stay for us there? I think Mrs. Nielsen needs another little piece of tape there so it stays on. Okay, let's put that down there for us. I'm sorry about that interruption there. Okay, that was the second one to go on the broomstick with her. Who was the third one on the broomstick? The third one on the broomstick was do you remember? That's right, it was the dog. And then they flew along again, and then when something else fell down from the sky off of her, right? She lost something else. They had to go down and look for it. Who was the fourth one to join them? The fourth character, was it the bird or the frog? The frog? Or was it the bird? Do you remember? I think I do. It was the frog, was the fourth friend to join her on the broomstick. And then the last one, which was the fifth one, is the bird. So on the Broom on the Broom book, we could use our ordinal numbers to say who was first, who was second, who was third, who was fourth, and who was fifth. Just like that. The witch was first, the cat was second, the dog was third, the frog was fourth, and the bird was fifth. Well, I hope you had fun learning your ordinal and your cardinal numbers and the difference between them. And Mrs. Nielsen is going to send Mommy a worksheet for you to practice your numbers with you. And I hope you enjoyed our little book for Halloween, Room on the Broom. She was a pretty nice witch, right? And thank goodness her friends were there to help her. Well, you have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.